I just don't know, Jeepers Peepers. I'm not even sure what we're supposed to be doing.
Who's running the show today? Drew's gone. I nominate me.
What about Jeff, man?
Who, Jeff? The fur face? What's he gonna talk about, V-Log? I can show him one of my V-Logs. They don't need color correction. They're single color. Brown.
I got one song for you. The Breeders. I dropped the bass. Can't play bass, I'm a drummer. So that means I can play Promise My Name is Mud. That was the wrong note.
All right, hey everybody. This is Jeff instead of Drew today because I might have made Drew disappear. And thank you, Batman, for your vote of confidence there. Today we are going to talk about the ultimate guide to cinematic shooting on the GH5, Part 2. V-Log. We will be talking about V-Log today. How to grade it, basically how to expand it and how to make it look really good from the very beginning. And then you can cut into what you would like color grade wise, or you know, how to make it pretty, basically. So that was terrible. No LUTs. So I working in Davinci. We're gonna be working on 2 notes today. That's it, nothing else. I've expanded it to 5, but we're gonna keep it at two grades, or 2 notes. One will be the expansion grade, and one will be a saturation grade. So here's my scopes. We're going to put that up there, and our blacks right now are close to 9 IRE. Our whites are just under 800 IRE, but that light in the upper left corner is pure white. It is already clipped. So we're going to take that up to 1000 IRE right there, and then we're going to take the low end, and we're going to drop that low end right above 0. I don't like to go to 0 unless I absolutely have to. I do for cinematic releases, but everything else I usually keep it just above, because when you're going to broadcast, you have no idea of compression algorithms that different broadcast companies use. So the second node will be saturation, and we're going to take the saturation up. The saturation is going to go, now I took it past right there so you can see it's right at broadcast safe when I went to 92 there. So we're going to bump that down probably to like 75, 77, somewhere in that range. Basically I'm looking at skin tones is what I'm really looking at. Skin tones and that color chart, those 2 places are my saturation go-tos to find the main saturation. I build saturation of other sections, like if you're outside with the trees and stuff like that, I build that after I build skin tone saturation. So there's me turning it off, and then turn off the whole thing, and there's the whole grade. So and it's not really graded, we're just expanding V-Log, making it where you have blacks and your highlights are up at the top level, the highlights, and you're using the whole gamut of the IRE instead of keeping it so soft and small. So here I copied that grade and I pasted it to the second one because these were shot one after another. I just kept these here because this is me and Drew just doing what we do. We're being goofy. Yeah, most people probably don't think I'm goofy, but I am goofy sometimes. If I'm not goofy, I'm planning Drew's demise. Alright, so here is outdoor. So we don't have blacks in this outdoor. There's no true black in this outdoor. The closest thing you probably have to a true black in color is going to be the name on that beer can, but it's not the truest black. It's a black, but it's not the truest dark in the shot. So what we've done, it's exposed pretty well. The highs were around 800 or 80 IRE. Your black levels are at like 25, 256 on 1000 IRE scale. So we're going to take those and we're going to crush those down, not all the way to 0 this time. It's going to be close, but it's going to be about like 5 IRE. So we're going to keep it right there because there's no true black in this. So you're basically just trying to expand this. If there was a color chart, you could probably get a black that's pretty close to true black, find out where 0 is. But we don't have it for this. So this is an eyeball expansion. There's me turning it off, turning it on. It's a pretty good expansion. The midtones are still basically the same. And then bring up the saturation levels here. The saturation levels, see, there's me expanding it way past, that's past broadcast safe. Broadcast safe is another thing too that we can talk about at some other point, because broadcast safe is a deliverable method that quality control, you've got to be able to pass quality control when you're sending to broadcast stations or sending over air, or your stuff is going to get very 8-bit your traditional, what everybody's talking about, 8-bit compressions and stuff, you will get that with the compression that they use to broadcast, if it's not broadcast safe. So here's that clip. I took the saturation levels down to about 70, which is kind of where I keep it for the V-Log shoot that we do. If we shoot V-Log outside, I almost always take the saturation right around 70, 75. Indoors, it varies from 65 to about 80. But this right here is right at my standard 70. Drew's blue is popping really well. Skintones look pretty decent, and it could be fuddled around with in the secondary. Same with the green trees and stuff like that definitely can be messed with, but for this, we're not going to mess with that stuff. We will get into another one on this cinematic shooting stuff where I will go in depth on most of my traditional secrets that I have for color grading. So here's a can outdoors, and this one doesn't have a true black. Does have a true white though. So the white, I moved it so you could see the true white in that can, take that white up. And we're going to take that white just to 1000 IRE right there. Now this one does not have a true black again. That Galaxy right there is a pretty close black. But it's not going to go all the way down. If we took that all the way down, you would be crushing this shot. No, crushing this, that black in the bottom left corner there would be totally black, and the Galaxy can would lose a lot of detail. So we're going to keep it up. It's roughly about 7 IRE from what I can see here, watching these scopes. So the saturation on this is where my computer kind of screwed up a little bit here, but with saturation levels, roughly it's going to be 70. Here's me bumping it up, show you a little bit more. I might have kept it here actually. So yeah, this saturation is actually going to be close to 80 here. Here's an interesting shot for me. This is a V-Log. Drew Skintone and that background right there are very similar in V-Log. So when we expand this, we're going to take that corner left over there and turn that close to black. We're going to raise up our gain here. And that gain got raised up, but there's no true white in it. So that's another kind of doing an eyeball. I'm trying to make Drew skin tone is what I was rushing for with that. And I'm going for about 700 to the 38, 380 to 400 area for Drew in this shot right here. So I'm trying to get him, we're basically, his average is in the 500, 550 range for IRE. Make him just pop off that background, because that background right now is also in the same area, but Drew's a little pinker than that background, so you could actually qualify that background and get a whole lot of separation on the shot with Drew here. And there I just moved the saturations up. Now I'm staying within broadcast safe on all of these, but this one's kind of pushing it, and that's that background color. It's pushing. So one of the ways that I would have expanded Drew off of this, so I'd qualify that background, and I'd pull that background saturation down a little bit, and probably actually pull it down mid-tone wise a little bit. Make it kind of like a green screen where it's stopped different from Drew, basically, and try and get him to pop off of it. And then I can qualify Drew out and then pop him some more and add some more contrast to him if I wanted to. Saturation levels on this, skin tone saturation is good. Its shirt's really good. Right here I've noticed that the knee popped, so you can see the knee actually has gone slightly over the 1000 IRE, and it's actually not broadcast safe anymore. So I decided here to pull that down a little bit, and that changes my whole shot. For this pure expansion, for color grading I need a rolling luma key or a luma grade for it, where I would keep the beginning of this the same exposure I had it, then I would make that roll into a slightly lower luma grade, and then I'd bring the luma back up when it panned back up to Drew. If I was doing the full color grade for this, which this is still just basic expansion and saturation. But Drew here looks great. He actually already pops off the background. And there's the V-Log, there's it with the expansion and color. So here's another one. This shot is completely different. We definitely have a blown out sky here. We have a lens flare just killing this lens. So there's no true black ever in this shot. So what I did here was I take the blown out nice crunch top level here, take it right under 1000. And then I expand Drew down quite a bit. We're going to try and make this roughly my black, what I'm seeing as a black, or my darkest spot on here that I want dark. I'm putting it about 128. And that's Drew's beard, his little tiny excuse for a beard. And then that tree on the far right, the shadows in that, I'm trying to knock down too, to give a little bit of expansion. There's the saturation. When you pop that saturation way up on that lens flare, it gets blue. It gets really, really blue. It's a little too much. So we'll pop it back down close to 70, where I've usually do my outdoor saturation levels for a vlog. Now these are all starting points. This is going to run through the rest of it. This is all basic starting points for me. So whenever I get vlog stuff, these are the first two things that I do. Then after that, I go into some more expansions, get some more contrast levels building up inside certain sections of the images. And then I'll key out certain colors I need to pop, certain skin tones, stuff like that. And then I'll start working secondary mask. And then at the very end, I'll do my vignettes and other things to make it broadcast safe. I try to work within broadcast safe realms the whole time that I'm working, depending on what the deliverable is. YouTube, going towards television, going to Facebook. You know, all those are your basic 0 to 1023 IRE. And then you just deal with the compression levels as a different way. That's all deliverable talk. But we'll get into that in probably like volume 5, or if Drew doesn't shut up, we'll get into volume 10, maybe 11 or 12. Who knows? But maybe we'll let Batman do one of these too. Who knows? Or my two favorite, Ripley and Sabine. Those are my they're my girls. You can do this in Premiere in Lumitri's. I think it's Lumitri color. I don't have much experience in it, but I know I can make it work. I've helped Drew with it a couple times. So basically all I have done here, and all I do here, is lift, gain, and gain. Usually just lift and gain if it's shot, or if your skin tones are on 42, your highlights roughly about 85-ish on the IRE scale, and then your blacks, if you have a true black, 7.5, 9. So I go for skin tones. Don't force your darkest spot to be 7.5, 9. You can always expand it down, make it look pretty good. Skin tones, that's where it's at for me for exposing. Take your 18% gray card, shove it out there, expose for that. If you can't get a read on your skin tones. Thanks for watching me and not having Drew here. Drew might come back, he might not. We'll have to see. You'll get to find out when we do the next live episode, hopefully. So, all right, everybody, take care.
I can show them one of my vlogs. They don't need.
It's so hard to do.
They don't need color correction.